Welcome to the Heart of the Matter podcast. I'm June An. I co-host along with Nick McCoy and Susan Billings. And our goal is to support the community by getting to know the local business owners and professionals.
Welcome to the Heart of the Matter, brought to you by the group and Coast News. Today we're here at Leucadia Barbershop.
Yeah, thank you, Emiliano, the owner of Leucadia Barbershop. He's giving my birthday haircut.
Oh, wow, I didn't know it was your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Getting the extra
You
special
gotta give
cut.
him an old man cut. What can we do to
Wait,
just,
I'm turning 70, so.
or de-age him? We could de-age him.
Maybe we grow out the mustache on the ends a little bit, curl
There
it,
you
get a
go.
little bit of wax on the end.
Wax.
There you go.
All right.
So I'm curious. I want to know the first time are you good? Like, this is so fun because this is what you do, right? You cut and you talk.
Yeah,
I've
for
heard
sure.
that sometimes it's you become a therapist as well,
Yeah.
right?
Underpaid therapist.
Underpaid therapist.
Yeah, he knows way too much about me.
Yeah, we get to know these guys in here.
Do they get to know you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially like nowadays and Instagram and everything. Everybody, like, my customers will like bring up videos I threw up or something. It's kind of funny. 'Cause
Oh,
then
they'll see?
or I'll see them, and then it's kind of like if you end up following one of your customers or something, it's like you end up seeing a little bit of their life. So it's kind of crazy now because everybody's in each other's business, but at the
Yeah.
same time, that's
True.
part of it. Like what I do is like trying to market the business and do stuff like that. That's fun for me because like as far as I know, it's like it's passing time. If I take videos of my work or whatever, and it makes the shop value go up.
For sure it
Put
does.
a tide in there. And,
Well, you also do a lot of skate videos, right?
yeah, skating stuff too. So it works hand in hand because I used to like try to edit skate videos all the time, and then now I just edit like commercial videos or like cutting hair in here, shoot some of
Nice.
my mom or my brother works here, so we'll do it for you. Or my brother does it mainly for me now, where he's got a pretty rad camera, and then he'll just do shots, and then I edit it.
So you're
nice.
editing
So you
all
like
your own
editing.
footage, and your brother will
Yeah.
go out and shoot
We'll
it, and then
shoot it
you'll...
on like a nice camera
Love it.
or just on an iPhone, but yeah, it's fun.
So
I like it.
let's talk family on this. So tell us where it originated. Who did it start with? Cutting hair.
My mom, she started like when she was 17, and then that was in National City, and I think it was her uncle that got her into it. So he had a barbershop in Chula Vista, and then she went to this beauty college. It was like an old spot in Southeast San Diego, or it's like National City too, but she went there, and then worked as like in a salon, kind of beauty stylist more,
Okay.
and like did it all on hairs, nails, all that. And eventually got out of it because my dad got his license. So then,
Oh, they both were doing it?
yeah, so my dad got his
Wow.
license. She kind of pushed him to get it. So then when he got it, it was easier to work with like men's haircuts. And so he taught her because you don't have to buy product, all the solution and dyes and all that. So they're like, well, we just keep it simple and just do haircuts. Might as well just like make a shop. So they had one in TJ in Tijuana. So that was down there for a little. And then Chula Vista, then they took off, and they found a spot on Diana Street right here off
Oh, really?
101. So then
Wow.
that was their first shop. So we were still living down there. We ended up coming up this way because it was like, oh, we got a spot. It's nicer up here. We were kind of like, it was run down where we were at, so they wanted something a little different. And so then when they ended up, we got a trailer right here across the street. That was
Really?
You're able to look down this across the street. Yeah.
That was where you're at.
this mobile home park. My mom bought it for like 30 grand.
No.
And then it was like space rent was like $300. Then now these dudes, these minimalist surfers from San Francisco that moved down here.
Yeah.
These guys paid $3,000 for a little space rent, and then plus their mortgage on their whatever they bought that thing for. So it's like,
That's
we
crazy.
lived there when it was like $500 or $800 a month, and then she sold it and we bought a house in Vista. She bought one So then from there, she had
Wow.
she actually was able to buy a house. So that was cool. She
That's
made,
great. Good
made
for
like
her.
I think she sold it for like 80 grand.
Oh, wow.
So it was cool. It was like a
Wow.
prefab, like a tiny home kind of thing.
Didn't you have a,
So-
or someone in your family have a barbershop where General Arts is right now?
Oh yeah. So then they opened this one. We moved there, and then my mom and dad worked together. But if they wanted to stay together, they're like, we need our space. So they ended up. He's like, I found another spot. They ended up getting that one in '98. So that was like 2 years into that shop up in Leucadia. He got that one, and that's like 15 years down the line, he had it. So then that's when I got licensed. I ended up getting starting to work there, and then we closed that one. Went to my mom's.
Yeah.
So that was cool because like the space was going up in rent, and they wanted to. It was like a restaurant row, no parking. There's no parking in here, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was like we
This
had to cut ties with
location.
it. But yeah, I grew up like in that center a lot because I would hang out there, and then I ended up going to school. Well, I started here when we were living in Leucadia. I started at the Red Preschool right here on Vulcan, and then went to Palecki. So then after that, it was like we moved, and I went to Vista School District. So I ended up like meeting friends everywhere and having more friends out of living in Vista, and then I skated the Y still. I had friends from here. So there's only like 3 skate parks in North County then, and they're all like in the center points of like Tri-City, Carlsbad, Oceanside, Vista. So I got to like basically network with all these little skater kids when we were kids and doing
Yeah.
contests, and it was unorganized. It was like, start smoking cigarettes when you're 10, and like hanging behind dumpsters, and
Did you
it
cut
was
their
fun.
hair? Were you like
Oh
doing
no,
what my boys do and say, hey, come here, let me give you a cut?
no, I did maybe later,
I know.
but no, yeah, I picked it up later, just because it was like, I knew I was either gonna go to college or do something, work in the skate industry, or and if I worked for the skate industry, I would get stuck just like boxing skateboards and doing orders and stuff at a local spot around here. And I thought it was cool because you get free clothes and like you're in on it, and like
Yeah.
but
But I love that this is just your personality all around. You've combined everything you love into this building.
yeah, I tried. That was like the turning point for my mom's shop because it was like she had an old school, just regular barbershop, and so I decked it out. She gave me permission to deck it out, and I was like, we're gonna make it like cool, if it's this little space, we gotta like work with it, So I just brought in whatever my wife wouldn't let me hang up, and in my house I just had all kinds of like, tattoo art.
Yeah.
I was actually hanging out at a tattoo shop a lot growing up too. So like my buddy was a tattoo artist, and then I got a tattoo gun. I started messing with it. So
Oh, really?
I collected, like, I always liked the art. So it was like I would draw it, whatever. I didn't take it too serious because I got busy as a barber, but I was like debating on, should I apprentice doing this? Like, I kind of like, my family's like, make good money. But it's like, for me, I knew it was more steady here. And it was like, I'm in the guardrails of my mom still. So like, I can't slip off too hard because I know if I go and work with all my buddies, I'm going to be having a ball every night. And
Yeah.
just like, I knew there's something pulling me back a little. So I just stuck with it with my mom. And I was like, let's just upscale her deal.
That's neat.
Because she's not going to live without it, and it's just going to go down if she sticks to the old school shit. And
Right.
we weren't doing appointments, everything's cash. Like, I wanted to make it like bulletproof, so she didn't have to like she didn't have retirement, none of that. It was all, back in the day, most barbers, everybody just collects what they do throughout the day and claim at the bar.
Right.
So then you're just left with like, no retirement, no social security, none of that. So now she's like working on all that right now, but it's still like she's catching up she's putting in now what she really does, like at this point since the last 10 years, like, so she's 47 years cutting hair.
Wow.
So yeah, she's just turned 68. She won't even say
Is she
that.
tired? I mean, sometimes
No, she
Yeah.
loves it.
Right? She loves it.
She does.
Like,
Yeah,
she's
you could
straight
tell.
up. She looks. You saw my mom. She doesn't look 68.
No.
She's
No,
like,
not
I
at
can't believe
all.
that.
so
Yeah.
she's like, I think it keeps her alive.
Yeah.
It makes her dress up in the morning.
Oh, it's
and do all
probably
that.
so fun. Your other
Yeah.
brother works here too, right?
Yeah, he has a shop in San Marcos, and then he does 2 days here.
Because
So he
as a
joins.
mom, I think there would be no greater thing to bring you happiness than to be in your son's world.
Right.
Yeah,
Like this.
she loves it
and
too much.
Seeing the friends come in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
it's just
I'm
awesome.
up here and she's down there. I'm like, hey, I'm tired of you pulling me aside later and asking me why I did that.
So did she
Telling
push
stories,
you at all?
old war stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did she push you at all into getting in this industry, or was it more
Yeah,
you just
my
wanna-
mom and dad did. So they're like about it. Just because they're like, do you want to work at McDonald's or do you want to work for us and just get your license real quick?
Ah,
And then if you do want to go to school, go ahead. But you'll have like at least a job. Like you're not gonna, So I just ended up liking it enough when I went to barber school. My dad had an old timer shop. Everybody in there looked like good fellas. Like they brought slacks with nice leather shoes and like button ups, Hawaiians
That's
and stuff.
pretty
So like OG, like
Yeah.
military, old war vet. Like it was like roughnecks. That like my dad was an ex-felon, so like him plus like veterans, and they're just all like they got in that industry because that was you could be that and
Yeah.
still,
that
you know what I
makes
mean?
sense.
Like
Yeah.
so it was kind of like, and then have your own business, so they felt, So a couple of the dudes that worked for him owned another shop like off Encinitas Boulevard.
Yeah.
He retired, sold it, and then he started working for my dad. So he ended up, he had like a little squad of like 70 to like 80 years old barbers.
oh wow.
I grew up just sitting around like a bunch of geezers, like
With the old people.
That's
Costa
great.
Glen would ship all their senior citizen dudes in a van, drop them off at my dad's.
No way.
Haircut day.
And it's
Wow.
off El Camino Real in the Costa area. So
Yeah.
you got all
Those
these
ca-
dudes with like lit sitting on like good retirements, like
Yeah.
old cats, chauffeurs even. Like one dude, he was the CEO. He was an old Jewish dude, the CEO from La Costa Resort. And he was
wow.
like telling me stories about like Marilyn Monroe, them stinking her.
Oh, wow.
Like Rat Pack. Like those days. It's
Yeah.
like we paid the Magdalena Ecke family just for our like billboard to be on the 101. This is only highway.
Wow.
So like then like this
That's
dude was like
interesting.
90.
Wow.
And I was like probably 20 years ago.
So
Wow.
who do you get in here? Like what would you say? I mean, you have kids coming in?
Yeah,
Do
like
you
every walk of life. There's a 102-year-old that comes here.
really?
Yeah,
I've
his daughter
seen
brings
that.
them in.
Let's do a podcast with him.
I know the stories
He's
you
like
can
an
tell.
old-
Yeah.
He's an old war vet. But yeah, no, so like I found like hanging in those shops, I was like, damn, I can't identify with that. Like it's just boring. Like I had to sit in there when I was a kid and just like,
Yeah.
but it made me more mature because I could talk to older dudes and not be scared of them. So that was what was cool with like the seniors that when I started cutting, I was like 17. It was kind of awkward at first, and like you're young, they don't know what to talk to you about, or you don't really.
Right.
So, but over the years, then you figure out. Then you just start asking questions like, "What do you do?" And then like, he's a lawyer, and I'm like, "Whoa!" Like, "Oh, okay." So they're just giving you not like I'm in a school all day, So
Yeah.
like since then it was like
That's
I'm learning from accountants,
interesting.
from
Yeah.
all
That's
these
true.
different
Yeah.
people that like
Right.
I could pick from, and I'm in a cool area where like people are successful.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I use that like everything I think that's cool and I know ain't shit. Like
Wow,
these
yeah.
guys all know they're
Yeah.
on some other stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
I started just soaking in the game that I learned from everybody, and like kind of like took pieces like from business people that like they probably, who knows what they did in business, but they're like, you're getting more. Like I was thinking about going to school. They're like, you're getting more here.
education and
Right.
that.
It's like you'd get more at a McDonald's learning. If you want to open your own business and you want to open like a burger joint, you'd get more out of it if you just saw how many fucking packages they'd get of meat or how many employees they got, or like just analyzing where you're at and learning the totem pole and all that. Then that's school, because you ain't gonna have street smarts.
Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
know.
go
No,
out
you're
there
right.
like that's why a lot of
But
people.
what a variety of
Yeah.
street smarts you were
Yeah.
able to have.
Exactly.
That's really.
I think, yeah, so I took that and I was like, well, then I got the upper hand. I got my family like that knows the business.
Yeah.
And So when I went to school, it was like young cats my age, and I was like, whoa, this is sick. Like, why do you want to be a barber, dude? Like, and I'm still questioning it, you know, in school, and they're just like, I think it's cool. Like my parents, some of them like their parents had good jobs, and they're all like, they don't like me even being a barber. They think it's like low goals. So and so like I was just like, oh cool, well, that's tight. You like that, like that's dope. You're going for what you know you can see yourself doing. So then I would see dudes middle aged jumping into this industry, and I was like, well, I'm 17. Like what? Like I got so many years ahead to learn, and by the time I'm this dude's age, I'm gonna have my own shit. Like like if I could, you know.
So did you always have that vision from
My
the time that you were
brother kind of
17?
gave it to me because he had his shop, so like I hung out there too. So I was like soaking in his knowledge a little too. Like he didn't know what I was gonna do with it, but he gave me it's almost like having kids. He had kids before me, so it didn't like wasn't scary for me to have kids. Yeah. So then I had kids because I had that like. It was good to have those people because then I'm like, oh, what? Like, or just taking care of them and like not being scared of kids and all that. So I was lucky. I was like on that page. So it didn't seem like out of sight. You know, you're like.
And now look at this. I mean, it's kind of cool to see. You not only went forward and became a barber, and now it's you're doing this family business, but you have a shop in one of the most coveted cities, you know, that people want to be right here at the coast, on the highway here, for people to walk by and see this old school cool feel, but you've brought this vibe to it that just makes it fun. You're doing it. You're having your third kid.
Yeah,
right?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I ain't done.
Third kid any minute.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I've been coming to Emiliano for years, and I mean, you could even tell back then. I mean, you're always trying to think ahead, and I've always noticed that back then there was no appointments. There was always a long wait.
Like people would be waiting. Like
I'd wait an hour and a half to get a
wait, like
down the street.
Down the street.
Down the street.
That's kind of like when you give like the community a taste of your drugs.
Yeah.
They want to come back.
But
no,
hey,
I'm kidding.
so people would see.
No, I'm just kidding.
Every 10 days.
It's at first it's like I think it was a good way to start a shop if people build that community. Right. Because we had to restart. Kind of not. My mom had 30 years of like 20 years of clientele. So like she still had all the regulars, and like they're the ones that were like, what, like what's going on? You guys made it too cool in here, like some of them. But then they some adapted and some left. Whatever, it comes in waves. But like
they wait in line.
Yeah. So they would wait. They would wait in line, and like we'd take them, like whoever's next, and then we had the bar. So these dudes would be like, oh, I'll just grab a drink. So then it would stack up again. They'd take their spot when they got out of the chair. And I would forget. And I'm like, this guy, you ready now? And they're like, he's in front of me? So then you'd have people arguing and like, it got weird when we got that busy. So then it was like, COVID pushed us in actually a cool direction because it was like, we have to have only 10 people in the place at once. Right. So then we didn't have to be like cool guy every customer and be like, we just do appointments now. So it kind of was like easy to push it on. That was kind of nice. Yeah. But then, it was still, you have to adapt to it. And like the way the booking apps work, you kind of run, say a barbershop page, each person could have their own booking app. So it's kind of like either you run it that way or you have to like manage everybody's schedule kind of thing. So it got tricky with like working and like then up and down shutdowns, and guys were like, well, I'm just gonna work from my house now, you know. So we lost barbers. You know, it was just like it was trippy areas where it was like it switched everything, kind of like it pulled the rug, you know, because COVID was like, you know, it was forcing people, or it was making people think like, I'm gonna collect unemployment and then you know, but we're paying rent, so it's like you guys
it was tough.
We got to keep this going, you know.
I even went to withdrawal without getting my haircut every 10 days. It was, I mean,
is it really 10 days?
Every 10 days.
And at
That's
one
right.
point it was like all the way down to the middle of your back.
Seriously. I mean,
so what was that transition like out of COVID and then moving from the old spot
like,
to this spot? I mean,
it was
you
a
guys have
street
been
fair.
Through a lot of different
Oh, for sure.
changes over the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was like a street fair out front because we would pull out like a canopy and cut hair outside.
Oh, really?
That's
Out
right.
here?
I remember that.
Out in the other
at the
shop.
other
Yeah,
shop?
we had
Yeah.
a private lot at least, so that was cool.
Yeah, he could only cut right in front. There was only a few parking spots up front.
Yeah,
So he had a
great
tent,
way to
and
do
so
it.
he had the chairs out there.
Bluetooth
And,
speaker, got the
Yeah.
tools.
yeah.
How many people do you have in this shop that work?
Counting me 5, I guess. Yeah, 5.
So it's every day? Are you?
Not every day, so it's
7
3,
days?
like 3 days out of the week we have 5 people, and then the rest is like 3, and then it's gonna be 4. We got another guy he's about to get his license, so we're apprenticing someone right now. So that's gonna be good to just have everybody filled up in here, and there's more room to like make more stations if we need it, but.
And do
we don't
people
wanna-
sit at the bar if they're waiting?
Yeah, they know there's beer, so
Yeah.
they'll grab it. Well, I'll just tell people at the. Now we got a coffee thing, so I'm like,
I saw
don't
that.
want to
That's-
push.
Yeah. Yeah.
My buddy hooked us up with that because he's a sober guy, so
Ah.
he's like, you guys just have beers, dude. Like, he brought me it because he was talking shit, kind of.
Yeah.
That was funny.
How many? Do you get a lot of skaters? Do you go
Yeah.
recruit from Prince? Are you like,
No,
hey, bud, your hair's getting a little bit.
I should. No,
Let me help you.
Yeah, let me
I
help
try
you.
not to even talk now at this point. I even like if I meet people or like they know I'm a barber at the skate park, they always want to like hey dude, like have me Anna. It's almost like if you meet a doctor. They like
Right.
I'm like,
They
bro, I
ask
came here to
you
like
questions.
Yeah.
you
Get
know,
away from this.
and
Yeah.
I almost
Get a skate.
now I'm like I was thinking about it. I need to get just a thing of cards so I can just hear, dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
You really
what I mean?
should,
'Cause
yeah.
you know, but at the end of the day, it's cool. Now it's easy. Like I just say LeucadiaBarbershop.com. You book an appointment whenever it works for you, dude. Because it's like if I'm playing phone tag, it's hard, you know.
Or just
So it
sticker up
works.
their board with Leucadia. Do you have
Yeah.
a sticker?
Yeah,
yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Well, he
I'll
comes
give
up with a lot of the art. So he'll do.
It's-
You'll see
I need a
cycles of
break.
different.
Yeah, I need a.
Oh, I love
We
that.
just
That's
ordered
awesome.
a bunch of shirts and
Yeah.
stuff, but.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I try to yeah, with skating it's cool because like it's so organic with that. Like it's almost like how June is. He knows all the jiu-jitsu guys because he's there and he's rolling with the guys every day. It not as much as I wish I could. I used to skate everywhere all the time, so just meeting everybody and like keeping up with each other on social media too. That kind of like keeps you all connected.
Yeah,
And then
right.
it sparks you up when they like get videos of them skating, and then you want to
Yeah.
like, it's like a little competition thing, and
Right.
but not even. It's just like it makes you want to. You're like, damn, I'm not out there. Like, this
Right.
guy's out
Yeah.
there. That's sick. But
What are some of your early memories from starting to skate?
oh shoot, my brother worked at McGill's skate shop
Oh.
back in
nice.
the '90s, so he was working for him. So I was introduced like Moonlight Beach. They set up rails, ramps.
Oh,
guy named
really?
Jeff King. Yeah, every Friday it was called Flat Bar Friday.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Before it was
Bring
packed
that
on
back.
Moonlight Beach because
I
you know
know.
that
Yeah,
top
there's no
part's always
space
taken
now.
out, but like the whole flat top was like always Friday empty, so they'd break out all the stuff.
Huh.
And this guy ended up having a show on like Fuel TV. It was crazy. It was like it was called Built to Shred,
Yeah.
and so they would build stuff like just stuff to skate and create like a bus or something. Like it was one of those channels you could get on like Dish Network. But my brother worked for him for a bit, so I was just dragged along. Like he would pick me up. He's 12 years older than
I was
me.
gonna say, how much older?
yeah.
So, yeah.
So he really was your mentor in a lot of ways.
Yeah. When I was little, because they were always working, my parents. So when he went to LCC, but picture him as like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air moving from Southwest Philly or whatever. He was from South Bay, San Diego. So it's like coming to LCC,
here.
you're watching dudes pull out sicker cars than the teacher. You know,
Right.
like all that. He was just like, whoa. But he's witty, so it wasn't like he didn't go against the grain. He ended up getting with some. Now he's see him 2 months later at that school. He's on Lone Jack at some girl's house in the living high, and now he's dating her. And they're the Kern family. Like they knew. I went to the Mossy Nissan lady. Remember those?
Yeah.
I went to her house. Like she used to
really?
clean her or babysit for her. So I remember him like taking me over there, and he's like, he was smart because it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go like, F these got all these people up here. Like he adapted and was
Yeah.
he made friends, and he kind of went skate. He liked skating, and surfing and all that. So he was like, I don't have to deal with the drama of walking through to go to school and where you from and all that kind of shit going on. So it's like, it kind of made him appreciate when he came up here, is what he tells me, because he's like, dude, it just made me like a chameleon. Like I know how to get around in those streets, and I could be fine here too.
Yeah,
and,
that's pretty awesome.
You know, so it's like that was the time of I guess like 90s. So yeah, he ended up getting his barber's license, and then he was selling like skate clothes out of my dad's shop, and so he had like all the plugs for the skate industry too. So he had like almost like a little section for skate clothes. So
okay,
that was
so favorite place
cool.
then to skate, like where, out of everywhere you've been?
I went to Barcelona.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I went on a big skate trip out there, 2021. So that was cool because that was like living my childhood dream. I went with a skate team and like filmers, all that. You know? So it was like my buddy paid for my stay there. I just bought my flights and food. He'd hook us up. And
amazing.
It was tight.
Yeah.
I was cruising around with Ryan Sheckler, and those guys. He had like a show on MTV for a bit.
Yeah.
If you don't know the skate world, that was
of
cool
him
for
on
me because I was like
day where he's
fanned
going
out
down at D Street where that big drop off. That's
Yeah.
Sheckler, right?
yeah.
I saw him that
on
day. I saw him after before
really?
he was
Oh,
gonna
you
go
did?
do that. Yeah, so it's crazy because that was like childhood me, like damn, I got to go on this cool skate trip.
Yeah.
But it was like a cool double life kind of experience because I'm like I got kids at home.
Yeah.
I'm like out here for 2 weeks. You know, it was a trip. It was like,
That's
whoa, I
pretty neat.
can't believe
Good
they
for
let me
you.
come. You know, but they knew it was a cool opportunity. So that was definitely it. They have like. It's made for skating out there for sure.
What's it like getting your kids involved? I see the videos of your son riding his skateboard.
Oh, he's on it. He's got the passion. He eats crap and gets up.
Yeah.
He's down for it. Take him to Prince a lot. Or like Sundays we'll go there. But he skates the Y. He does the little day camps.
Yeah, he's fearless.
Oh, he charges it.
Well, talk about
He's learning
having
how
a
to surf,
mentor
too.
and like
Right.
being in the right environments. He's just
Yeah,
skating with
that's-
his dad.
Yeah.
That's what's cool. Like I just reenact whatever I wish I could do too, because it was like a lot of the times, you know, my mom she's old school, and I would tell her like, hey, I'm dropping it on the vert man. Like she didn't push me to skate. She was like, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Kind of
Like every
sketched
mom
out on
ever
it.
did.
Just seeing medical bills is
Yeah,
what
exactly.
she was seeing. And
That's what she would tell me too.
Broken arms.
So I would hide if I got hurt. You know, I'm like no, but not even.
totally. How many concussions? How many times did you have
I
to sit
never-
in a dark room and not have any
I
stimulation?
have, knock on wood. I
Never?
haven't- No.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope nothing happens.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I've snapped my arm. This was like broken in half and limbs and then collarbone. But I've done like all the ones you think, you know.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I've noticed and I love most about you is like how multifaceted you are. Like the skating, the tattoo artist interest, the barbering. Was there
Yeah,
a
it's
point
hand
when
in
you were
hand.
young where you felt like any one of those three paths could be like a professional path for you?
Nah, well, yeah, the tattooing.
Yeah.
I think even still, like it would be cool if I got to where I wanted with my schedule as a barber. I would do like nights or something, 2 hours a night, and just paint. And because all it is just repetition. If you're not working with skin and all that, it's like I already work with like skin in here, which is cool. So that works.
That's
but
true, yeah.
yeah, like I could already tell with certain people with like the type of skin they have, it's not gonna like stick or it's gonna fall out.
Oh.
Yeah, so like little things like where I kind of like I could fully submerge into it, but skating was just more like I'm gonna get the most out of it. Doesn't owe me nothing. I just you know like
Just have fun.
yeah, because I have a lot of friends that went that route and they got nothing to show for it either. It's like you have to be marketable. You have to like, it's almost 10% talent and everything else, you know? So it's like, it's spread thin, so you only see so many people making it, and it's a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sport now, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like
Right.
Yeah.
you come and go too real quick. You're old at 30. You're old at 25.
Oh man.
Wow. I'm way over the hill then.
Way old.
Yeah.
If we-
I'd probably break a hip anyways.
I started to think that you were gonna fall asleep in his chair. I'm like, bad
Yes,
idea.
yeah.
You're in relax
He is in the
mode.
mode. He's
Yeah.
in
He's
pre-birthday
in
party mode.
pre-birthday party.
No, this is
He's like in
typically
full
what I mean, I've
peaceful
definitely
zone.
fallen asleep getting a haircut.
It's probably
so.
the only time throughout your day you actually sit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you gotten
it's
one
true.
here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I cut his hair.
Does your mom do? Does anybody? No women long hair. You don't cut long hair. Or you do?
She could cut long hair.
Yeah.
Like I typically don't though. I've cut my wife's hair like down. She went full on from your length to like a bob.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Like straight.
Did she
almost
hate
looked
you
like
after?
the girl.
Yeah.
Was it Pulp Fiction?
Oh
Black
yeah.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you color men's hair at all?
No,
Like,
no. I
you
stick
just
to the
stay
old
away from
school,
Yeah.
old school barber kind of traditional style, but
But again, that keeps it easy.
it keeps it. Yeah, because I'd have guys hanging out for like 2 hours,
Yeah.
letting it process, and
Yeah.
I just leave it to the ladies. We got like 3 salons around here, and
Oh yeah.
they're like one right there, one across.
Do you refer? Like, do you say?
Yeah, I'll tell them like, yeah,
over.
they do probably color right there, and if you want to get your hair cut because you want like a cool fade or something,
Mm-hmm.
we could do that.
So June, who do you go to for your color?
Oh, he doesn't color.
I don't
I know
color.
you're kidding.
He's
See,
lucky
that's
he's
how
not
young
that
you
great.
are.
It's all
Yeah.
natural.
That's
It's
right.
all natural
good.
right there.
Eventually though, it's gonna catch up and I'm just gonna be all gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in my family's bald, so
Really?
they all hate me because I have so much hair. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's a good. I mean, the conversations and the connections you've probably made
Yeah.
for
it's-
throughout the years. I'm sure you've had
It's
some pretty
cool.
good stories.
For
that you've
sure.
heard.
Oh yeah, I have good and bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how many people do you think you see in a day? Like a busy day?
Like typically it's like about an hour a cut. I don't like, or like if it's a beard and a cut, it kind of takes longer. So say like 9 to 10 the most.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so it's not like I'm sitting there. I know
Wow.
guys that press out 100 cuts on a Sunday at the military base though. So
Wow.
it's like,
Yeah.
but there's no like,
Those
Wow.
are just
Those are just
Shave
straight.
it off.
no, not hating on the barbers that do it. They got to do what they
Yeah.
got to do.
Right.
A lot of them, they don't like the pressure of building a clientele, and they just want to go to a shop that's busy. And
Uh,
they just do whatever they got to do for
Yeah.
$15, and it used to be like $5. I remember.
What's it like
Now, like-
finding barbers, like people to work with that are like a good fit for what you're
Well,
trying to
I
build and
hang out with them more than my own family, except my mom. So
Yeah.
I got to be.
Yeah, you gotta
They gotta
like
be
them.
cool.
yeah,
like,
that's true.
Imagine like finding the right person who
Right
wants to
now,
hang
we
out
got 2 dudes that are like, other than me, my brother, and my mom.
with. Yeah.
2 dudes that are like 18 and 20, so they're so young that they're like
wow.
cool to mold and like shape.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of shops these days, like not any in particular, more in Vista, because the barber schools are close to the Vista, Oceanside, so they get this like, it's kind of like those, not to call them hood shops, but like yeah, they're like more just crazy high fades and like all this lineups and kind of like Dominican style shops.
Yeah.
So it's like the way they run the show there, it's like free for all. All the barbers kind of burn each other and come and go from different places, and they're not like they talk crap on each other. It's like a weird community. Like in some spots, like even in South County, it's like that. Some places where it's like there's those shops that they'll get hired at where they're not going to get directed. They're pretty much lucky to work here because there's a lot of cool people that come in and out, and like successful people, and it's not just like your friends coming in. You know what I mean? Although that's fun, and your friends aren't going to pay your bills. Like it's
Right.
going to be,
Yeah.
they're going to want to
They're
lawyer
looking
and hang
for-
out,
yeah.
and like those atmospheres. If you want that, it's fun, but it's short lived. So it's like you got me and my mom here. You know, I'm for
At work.
like yeah, and like it's all respect. Like I don't. We could party, but I'm not gonna like be in here after hours and being stupid and
Yeah.
you know making it like a clubhouse like that, because that's when it's like you don't shit where you eat kind of thing.
Right.
And so I learned that over the years myself, just by being at the old spot, the next to the bar, and like in my early 20s it was tight because like we'd open up the shop, we're partying till 3 in the morning because the bar's closed. And it was fun, like, but at the same time, it's kind of like I still had to shape it up, and I had those guardrails I was talking about with my mom, where I gotta clean all this shit. You guys pick up all your empty soldiers you left everywhere, all the beers, and like it would be spotless. We would still have that. But at those shops, if it's just your friends, you're just pointing on the finger like who didn't clean, or and then they get on each other's,
Yeah.
So it gets weird. It's like having roommates,
Yeah, I can see that.
So you gotta like pick them wisely, and like old dogs with they don't learn new tricks, sometimes.
So this new guy who you're bringing on, you said it's like an apprenticeship?
Yeah, he has his barber schooling done, but he's gonna take his test, so we're just calling it like apprenticeship because he's here learning and doing it because that's another thing. You get them fresh out of school, and it's like they got bad habits from other people or different process. So.
Is that typical for new barbers
We're
to come
learning
in, like
more
do
now.
apprentice type work?
I want to. You have to have a certain license to like really go from scratch, but yeah, I want to. At least by the time my son's old enough, that would be cool. Get him in here.
So I have 4 sons, and it was way easier just to shave their heads. So I got really good at just
Buzz cuts.
just buzzing them every time. Line up.
Susan, are you applying or?
Yeah.
So can I be
skills.
an apprentice? Is what I'm saying.
Oh man.
My boys would say, please no, do not put her at work.
Oh man.
So they've had to take it up on their own, and
They didn't like your haircuts?
no.
You work with June's wife?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
cool. Sick.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Nice.
Yvonne is amazing.
Absolutely.
How'd you guys meet, June? I mean, did you just walk into the
LJ.
shop one
LJ,
day?
actually my
Oh, really?
Yvonne's cousin. He was living with us, and he came. I think. How did he meet you?
My buddy I went to high school with was his roommate, Tyler.
Oh, Todd. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and they're still roommates to this day.
Yeah,
And so
they're good people.
yeah, and I had been bouncing around barbers, and they always, for some reason, give me a bowl cut. I don't know why. I always get a bowl
He's
cut.
got straight hair, so if you cut it,
Yeah.
if you chop the front,
I
it's
just
gonna
want
look
to
the
see a
bang.
picture
Seriously,
of that.
it just
I'm picturing.
Schoolgirl bang.
yeah, and I will literally tell them, don't give me a bowl cut, and I walk out of there. I'm like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, I have a bowl cut.
No.
Yeah.
Full Dumb and Dumber Lloyd Christmas.
Yes,
Little
exactly.
split.
Yes. I mean, I grew up with a bowl cut as a little kid.
I was
so-
gonna say, I feel like I
Yeah.
just saw a picture of you as a kid with a bowl cut.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so then when I came here, LJ was like, hey, this guy's really good. So I went to his old shop, and I don't know how many years ago. That was years ago.
Yeah, at least almost like 10.
Yeah.
Because I've been, like 8, 7 or 8.
Wow,
You know?
long
yeah.
time.
At least,
then.
I think 10. And then I waited. Everyone.
There's actually an old picture on our Instagram. Like you scroll all the way deep, and it's June in the waiting room.
Oh,
full of,
for
like,
real?
Yeah.
6, 7 dudes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
we were saying, how it was.
Wow.
Jude's 12 years old. in
Walk-ins.
pictures.
Well, thanks for making him, not have a bowl, because
Yeah.
we'd be embarrassed to introduce
Yeah.
him to people.
Now,
you know?
now he's very
Now he's
presentable.
presentable.
Oh, very
We can bring him along with us wherever we go.
Well, I even told Yvonne, I got the cut, and I called LJ. I was like, this guy's dope. The haircut's perfect. Ever since then, I've been coming pretty much every 10 days for 10 years now. So.
Yeah, and how many people have
guy.
you referred? I feel like,
everybody.
is June not
Yeah.
the biggest?
Like our whole jujitsu school.
Yeah,
everybody
everyone.
coming
Oh
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Like
it's
we have
dope
at
because
least
a lot
handful
of
guys.
those guys, now they're coming here.
Yeah.
So it's cool. There's like a cool connection there, and it's like, it stems down to back like with his it's not your nephew, but your
Cousin.
cousin. It's like
Yeah.
your brother-in-law, pretty much.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
He's my mijo.
so that's
He's
cool.
a good
And he's
kid.
married into a Mexican family, so we get along pretty tight.
Yeah.
He knows how to get along with
Oh, yeah.
her uncles and stuff.
It was my first language, so Spanish.
what's
So.
up.
So Nick, you gotta get your boys in here. Do you do little guys? Like, do you put them
Yeah.
on a little booster seat
Yeah, we
and
got
have
one.
the whole experience for
I do
pictures?
bring them in, yes.
Imagine the
They
baby
You
book
got the seat and everything.
Yeah.
in a place like
Oh my
this.
gosh.
They would think you were the coolest dad on the
yeah.
planet.
Unless you
And
want a
this
bowl
is where
cut,
you
you can
bring
go
it.
down the street and get a bowl cut.
Yeah.
I just do that in our kitchen, a little bowl cut.
Don't.
No, I do have to bring
Tupperware
them in
out.
here.
They would be so.
they
they
would
would
love
think
this.
it's so cool, and then
Yeah,
go take them
bring
skating
them by just
after.
to hang out and watch you get your hair cut. And then they'll
Yeah.
be like, what?
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
They're at the stage right now where just everything is cool that we do, you know? At
That's
some
tight.
point they grow out of that, right, Susan?
Yeah.
Yep.
My son's 6,
Yep.
and he's kind of down like that. Now I could tell he's like, yeah. Like, he's starting to get that.
Oh, he'll
like,
think you're
Start
cool
to
too.
develop his own opinion a little bit.
yeah. Well, now he'll give me some recognition on stuff because he's learning skating and all that.
Ah,
There you go.
How'd you do that? I'm like, all right, sick. He's
Yeah.
actually,
that's great.
That's cool. Yeah, I love it. I always thought if your kids' friends think you're cool, then
You got it made.
then you'll think they'll think
Yes.
you're cool. No,
Yeah.
they get bitter about it.
They
They're
get
like,
bitter.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, what? Why do my friends
That's the way my
want to hang
girl's
out with
mom
you? Or
She's,
why are you giving advice to my friends?
yeah. Yeah, that's my mother-in-law had a boutique off in South Oceanside. It was like right there where, I don't know if you've ever been like where that donut spot is and the surf rides right there. It was called
Oh, yeah.
Gypsy Den.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she owned that for like, I don't know, like a good 6 years or something. And then their building got taken over and now it's like, it squashed the building. But COVID, she was like over it. Like everybody, retail was hectic.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's her and her. She has 3 daughters, counting my wife, and they're all on the same thing where it's like almost like the Kardashians. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. Like I feel bad for the husband around all these women.
Right.
I'm like he's gonna turn. He's gonna. You might catch your makeup missing. No, but yeah, they were always like, "Don't wear that. No, you look like
Oh,
this
man.
young." Like, she steals my clothes, and then she says that she's the one that found the brand, and
Oh
like
my
my girl
gosh.
would do all the merchandising, and like
Oh, that's
she's
too
like,
funny.
I found this, Sierra. It was funny.
Just
it's a funny
another little
dynamic.
shop like yours in a different
Well,
way.
yeah, they did their own thing for a while, and my son, he was like 6 months. She was like baby carrier and helping girls out, pick out
Oh, that's
dresses
cool.
and all that.
Yeah.
But then he got rowdy, so she's like, I gotta. This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. So what would you have them do the same thing you did? Would you tell
My
your
kids?
boy to go the barber route?
Well, I mean, I guess if
Keep
it's
the
like
family tradition moving?
if it's on the right track by then, for sure.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
like if
that'd
I'm
be
gonna
kinda
need his
cool.
help, I think I'll probably end up needing his help.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and like his insight, because he's
Right.
ears on the street and
Yeah.
he's new and hip.
Some
So
fresh ideas.
That would be
I'll
pretty
take that in
cool.
all day
That's
because I know
great.
how it works. And I was in that position, so
Well, so
but-
what is the goal though? Like,
Yeah.
what,
for me,
yeah.
maybe like eventually me and my brother kind of want to either get a couple more shops, but like have them like if I apprentice someone or do anything, I'll give him a percentage of the shop to run and like make his own. But I have to
Oh.
like school the guy. You
Right.
know what I mean? And like I don't even know if it would be called the same things, but it would be like an umbrella. And then if I could get like 1 or 2 shops ran and I work 3 days out of the week, I'd be hyped.
Good.
But
Yeah.
then eventually, like if I have enough people to help me that I trust, you know, like more the merrier. I just don't know if it's like not worth for me. Like I'd rather have a barber school or like open up something like that than more and more shops, because it's like when you open up, it's like a chain. When you start doing that, then quality at some spots aren't as good as this
That's
one.
true.
So
Wow,
it's like,
what if you
I'm
did
not
a
God, I can't be
Leucadia
anyone.
barber school?
Yeah, I would be
And
stoked to do
do
something
you know how
like that.
many guys would come in
Mine
to
would
learn
be
from
Barber
you?
Academy. I would be like,
There you
all right,
go.
you want to learn
Academy.
from either these guys that like, and I would only take like, we already have it planned out, kind of like if I funded it and I would charge each person $7,000 a year, or $7,000 a case, and only do 2 a year.
Yeah.
So instead of them going to school for a year, paying 21, and learning from these shit schools, I'm sorry, some of them
Yeah.
at least. I think like them getting the knowledge on how to run it. It's almost like being a consultant, like
Yeah.
teaching
Yeah.
them that would be the sales pitch. You
Yeah.
know, it's because
Totally.
and it's true. It's like if I could show you what it takes to open a shop
To
from
run a
scratch.
business.
go to the city, get all the permit, do all that stuff. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You know?
That's
huge.
like
great.
Yeah.
Great.
But like, yeah, just tons of other
That's
stuff.
a huge education. Like something we've been talking about a lot is going from, and what I hear you saying is like moving from being a baker to a bakery.
Yeah.
I mean, like being able to cut the hair and be proficient at
Work
that.
smarter, not harder.
Yeah, like cranking out the cakes, that's one part, but how do we actually make this be a thriving business?
But I think right now it's like, that's why I feel like you got to put in all that footwork, and no matter what you do, whether if it's this podcast and we're one of the first episodes and you guys are Joe Rogan status, you know, like,
I don't know.
it's all about the footwork and not just keeping your head down and keeping on.
Yeah.
Even when you're like, oh fuck, like you're at the point where you're busy and you're like, oh, I have to like meet up and I'm only gonna be able to get it done on this day with this person. We got to interview them. It's a big, you know, it's things like that where you're like shooting yourself in the moment, and then you're like, damn, I'm so glad we did that later. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like just pushing through all those moments, because
there's
like everywhere has that, you know.
Sure. Well, I feel like too with you, I mean, you're a lot more mature. You've been more mature just because of the, I guess, the legacy and how you were raised. But the, you know, you seem to always be thinking ahead. I mean, I feel like it's really rare.
Like the curiosity too, just to
Mm-hmm.
like continue to learn and grow from the people who are sitting in the chair, or who's on the street, or what other shops are up to. That's You feel like you've always sort of had that, or you feel like that's something you've learned over time?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I just turned 30, so it's like,
whoa, what?
it's one of those things where
You're 30?
Yeah. But,
What?
Yeah, I know.
Man.
I'm old, huh?
3 kids, you own a barber shop,
He's
you're
wise.
killing
He's
it
wise,
with clients,
exactly.
and you're 30.
But even
Wow.
then, I felt like, you know, there's a lot of wasted time in between.
Wow.
So I still feel like I'm wasting time. So it's like anything, you know, it's like whatever age you are, don't matter.
Sky's the limit
I
for
think-
you.
No,
Absolutely.
I think as far as like getting rich quick schemes go, I don't trust them, so I just stick to the script.
Stick
and
to
like,
something
Yeah,
and do
you
it.
just
Do
work.
whatever
You're
I
traditional.
can.
You work hard.
But like, there's waves of everything, you know. It might be long hair, it might be short hair.
I was going to say facial hair.
There's like all
that's
these different
blown
kind of
up
like,
in
I don't
the
know,
women.
you're gonna end up, there's fads, so it's like if you don't adapt, I learned how to adapt to fads and hairstyles.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like riding waves of like anything branding, like skate brands to me, like I know that like the back of my hand. I know how they fluctuate. Things are cool, and, and then they sell the zoomies. Now your uncle's wearing that shit, and you're like, oh, dude, like I'm good.
Yeah.
And that's like what I don't like. So if you keep it true and you could live with, like, I could start a pomade line, or I could do all these different things,
Yeah.
but if you don't finish them,
Yeah.
or like, what's the goal? Yeah, you're gonna just like piss around and like, yeah, I'm just selling it to my friends and local, or you're just saying that because you don't have the energy, because you got to get reps and
Right.
get that shit in the box store, all that stuff.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to, like, even him, he's saying, you should do the podcast, and it would be sick for me to do something, but at the same time, I know I don't have the energy yet
Yeah.
to, like,
The bandwidth.
tackle,
Right.
like, other things. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't put your eggs in so many baskets, I feel like, for me, at least. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know how
Wait,
to judge.
That
really?
ADHD. Yeah.
ADHD
I can't.
comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else I'm going to be, like, I'm
Sure.
gonna be, you know, maybe some stocks. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool if you put some.
You're a wise man for 30.
Yeah. Right.
We're
Really
getting
impressive.
there.
Wow.
What about the guys who come in who have been haven't gotten a haircut in like 10 years? What's that like
Oh,
for
yeah.
you when you cut them? I
Those are
mean,
easy too, because it's like anything's better kind of thing.
Oh.
And then you could just chop away, kind of like just go at it.
I'm amazed at those reels where they
Yeah.
take a homeless
and
guy.
you
Yeah.
they look in the
Yeah.
mirror. And it's
I
like
used to do that every
And
day
you're
in the
like,
barbershop.
what?
Yeah.
You would
Like-
cut
Cut all
homeless in
kinds
the-
of homeless guys'
and you're
hairs.
like, wow, he's
It was
good
like
looking dude.
Yeah, this
right
is-
I was
there.
on Fifth Avenue, on Fifth Avenue in downtown San Diego. So
Yeah.
they would charge like $4 for
Oh,
haircuts.
cool.
Oh wow.
and like these guys would bring in tokens from Salvation Army.
Oh, wow.
So like
Love
they
it.
would get hooked up. But yeah, I had some weird stuff happen there too, where it was like just guys strung out on drugs.
Oh yeah.
He takes off from the chair and like, where did this guy go? He's in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Next thing you know,
Oh.
ambulance. Like
Oh,
it was,
no.
yeah, it was some
Wow.
trippy stuff down there.
So who does
But
yours? Do you do
my hair?
it? Yeah.
I could buzz it now, but yeah, I'll either have like my mom or whoever's
I was
around.
gonna say, which one do you trust in
Everyone.
here that you would
They're all
say
good.
I would get
Yeah,
my
they are.
own done?
They are
there?
all good.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I want to go to a friend's shops to like support and actually get treated like a hair customer because
client, yeah.
here it's like get me in, just clean my neck up. You know?
Yeah.
If I have like 5 minutes, so I don't really. You caught me on a good day somewhat because that's why with buzz cuts it's easy. I could kind of look like it's not standing everywhere with long hair. So
Did you used to have long hair?
I had
Your
like slick
skater
back.
days?
Slick
Oh,
back
slick
hair.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I had longer hair when I was a kid, like just down to here, flippy.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I started like just shaving it bald pretty much, like skin fades, military
Yeah.
style.
Is it therapeutic? Like is it kind of a level of art for you in a way where you get into it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you don't have like artistic, like if you know how to draw and stuff, I think it helps. Because if you don't know how to shade properly or different things like that, you don't have to
That
be an
would've been
artist,
my
but
problem.
Yeah, me too.
you definitely get
Yeah.
it easier. You know,
It's definitely an art. I mean, during
it's
COVID.
like sculpting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because COVID,
Yeah.
LJ tried cutting my hair. Worst thing. It was. I would have rather had a bowl cut. I had patches all over the
That
place.
comes back to the bowl cut.
Yeah.
Not that was traumatic.
Yeah.
I almost want to get him a bowl for his party tomorrow. Let's get him some
that's a good
scissors
idea,
and
yeah.
a little white bowl.
And it's funny because
Right.
it's just the bangs that make it look like a bowl cut
yeah.
in the front.
So funny.
But I know what he's saying too, because a lot of his hair is so straight that if you don't blend it correctly, you're gonna leave like a big line
Yeah,
around the
it's
side.
patchy.
yeah.
So you got tons of hair. It's just I think the way people do it to cut corners sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's tough. You got tough hair, June.
That's good,
Just need to
June.
find the right person.
Tough,
Yeah.
good, thick hair.
Well, that's why I was willing to wait an hour and a half. I mean, he's the best I've seen.
And then you can't toot my horn on here. It's gonna sound like we
We
Yeah.
rigged it,
Yeah.
this conversation.
gotta
No way. No way. I mean, I don't think June would send anybody to something that you didn't
Yeah, he's got.
love yourself. And
got
he
passion.
talks about you all the time.
That's cool,
All the
dude.
time. Yeah.
I bring up whoever talks about jujitsu too. It's kind
Oh,
of
there
cool
you
because
go.
like
Yeah.
Throw him to June.
that's my my inlet to that world. Whatever
Right.
I know is probably through him. You know, most
Have
of
you
it.
tried it?
I haven't. No, my son, since he got into it, I kind of got like more interested in it and all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard right now because with the new baby coming and everything, both of my kids were in it. My daughter was
So you have a
What?
boy and a girl.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what you're having?
a girl, another
A
girl.
girl.
Yep.
That's fun.
Girl, we're gonna be dominated by
Oh,
females.
man.
That's why he
fun.
took jujitsu, so he can defend himself.
I know.
That's good.
Yeah.
first.
So we gotta figure out how to get her back into it because she had to stop. But I want him to be in like a tighter knit group. It would be cool to put
Right.
him in your spot when he's like got the patience old enough kind of deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's I feel like your shop brings back community, the old school community. I mean, you're seeing people walk by right now that are looking in, and it's just placed in the most perfect position here.
Yeah.
And
It's rad.
it has such a good mixed vibe. I mean, you have the jukebox going, but you have all of your contemporary things. A picture of your mom and dad, I love.
It's new, but it has that old school feel. Well,
Yeah.
I know the story, but tell them, your old location. Like, how did this come about?
Oh,
This new location.
so we got news that they passed a law with dispensaries. So then there's only like 4 permits, and basically they kind of like you put your name in a bucket and
Oh,
they shuffled
really?
it and like picked whoever owned the business or owned the property, basically like got picked. So like on the 101, everybody put their whoever owns something would put their names in a bucket, kind of.
Really?
And like they're either gonna like if it lands, they're gonna buy them out of whoever has a lease. So they didn't buy us out, but they waited till the bar was done with their lease, and then at that point it was crunch time, and we had negotiated a couple other spots, and then this guy said this place is almost done, but it took like another year. So we subleased off of the dispensary in order to stay there while this place was getting built, and then permits and everything. We had to jump right in, like quick, right at the end.
It did happen kind of quick. Yeah,
but it was rad because we got lucky with like knowing the owner of this spot. It used to be a cafe, so I used to always eat there, and then he prints all of our T-shirts that we make. So they have the owner of the property. They have like Chateau and Sons, so it's like a local T-shirt business from the 70s.
Where is that at?
Now like garage.
It used to be here though.
It used to be
It's called Chateau and Sons?
Chateau and Sons.
Huh.
So yeah, like I knew that family, and he kind of knew that we were like OG around here, and he was like, well, I back you guys, like I want you guys in here.
I love that you said the word rad.
Yeah.
So you're in good company using that word. At least I do. I find myself saying rad so often that I have to catch myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I just went back to
No.
my days. But
That's
you're
cool.
young and you're saying rad. You're bringing it back.
Oh yeah.
That's what we need.
He's an old soul, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah, you really are.
I got raised by old people. No, yeah, my parents, they're born in the 50s, so like everything from there, like oldies music, all that. My dad was a big lowrider guy. My mom was into lowriders. So
Really?
yeah, I ended up getting some, and I kept up with like, I love that part of like my culture and whatever. In San Diego too, it's like, it's big. So
Do you ride the Strand in Oceanside?
I do. I don't drive it. I don't have a car anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cruise there.
You'll go
We'll go
when
and walk on it and stuff.
Yeah.
I know a lot of those guys with cars that they all cruise up and down
there.
it.
It's my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. There's becoming more of a scene for it too, because it's now it's like an art. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It used to bring drama, and there's people that didn't have cars. They show up to them, and it was just they kind of shit on the parade because it was like the guys with the cars usually have the jobs, and they might look kind of like tough, rough guys, but they're the guys. If they have a car, they have a family, and they're into that. That's like what they, Then you got their cousins that are still street and ruin the parties. But yeah, I'm glad San Diego's it's coming back over there, and that's what my goal here is to kind of like create art shows. I have a lot of friends that do art, photography.
That's a great idea.
And actually, like, get my tattoo artist friend do pop-ups and stuff.
Yeah. Do pop-up art?
Yeah.
It's a great location.
I
Look
would
at this
just do it
space.
like for the night, take
great
all our
idea.
stuff off,
Yeah.
get my buddy to spin records, and then I'm gonna try one day to get all my friends to park their cars, and then we get everybody to move them as like lowriders come. So we get this whole strip like a car show. So
That would
like,
be so
I'm stoked because
great.
like it kind of barbering brought me in a cool place with like the hair product that we use here, because like I'm an ambassador for them, so they're down for like basically funding cool shit and demoing and like breaking out promo stuff, and another skate company that I would work with too, but like get them to sponsor it, and then get a beer company and just make like a fun. We had so many parties at that old shop. Like I had a big movie screen on top of the roof, big skate video premiere. So I've ran like just quick, like Jimmy rig parties, and it turned out like it was kind of gnarly. One cop showed up, there's fights. It's like 100 people like right there in the 101, and yeah, it was fun. But I would definitely do more cool small art shows and just like not blast it, Yeah. Just because I don't want us to get in trouble over something, someone else does.
It's a little tricky on that.
So I want to get that going and just create another scene here, because like it feels sick in here and everything, but we still like don't have the character we had there when we were like there for so many years. So it feels like I want to recreate some type of stuff so that these people that live around here, they could see like cool different shit that it's not like I could hold it down for the culture and like what Leucadia kind of was with skating, and you know, it was a big Mexican population. Like all these apartments, it was just nothing but Mexican. It was all Spanish speaking kind of right here. So it's totally different, but at the same time, I want to like
bring
that back and then give a good touch on it, where it's like, oh, they're actually like, you know what I mean, like professional about it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you've been here for so long. I mean, what direction do you think Leucadia is headed right now?
As far as like, I think it's headed towards parking meters and like all kinds of stuff. So if you own a home here, props to you, but you're probably not gonna like it, you know. Or I mean, you're gonna like it that your property went up, but I think it's gonna be blown out. It used to be, even for the people that bought here right before COVID, I think it was a different place. So it's kind of like, I think at the end of the day, it's good for everyone where the city grows and like there's more cool places to hit now. At least I know like all the restaurants are doing a good job, and I know the owners and stuff for some of them. And I think they're making it cool, like North Park did, and like they're creating like a scene and play. That's the dope part. But the summer stuff, where it's like if a real estate group buys 5-6 houses and they're all Airbnbs, then it's no room for people like me that grew up here.
Well, it prices people out.
They all have to take off. So it's like it turns into it's different, you know. Yeah. But me, I adapt to anything in the community and everything. So it's like I know you can't be bitter about it. You just gotta like, I have my backbone, and like I know I'm confident in this space because like I don't have anything to like be like, oh yeah, like dude, this is nothing. I used to skate up and down these alleys, like, you know. And then so when I hear people talking good about it, it's kind of like, whoa, you appreciate this. That's kind of cool that you appreciate it, because it was like, dude, it was boring here, like, and we get in trouble, and it was just like, it was fun surf town, ghetto surf town in those days, where skate town. So it was almost like how Venice and all those like sub cities, like La Jolla always had its name, Del Mar had its name, but then like Oceanside and Leucadia were the grimiest, and then Carlsbad was kind of semi-nice. So it was like, no one from here got along with guys from Carlsbad, kind of thing. And Oceanside.
My kids always say, keep Oceanside sketchy. They're like, Oceanside sketchy.
No, and like I have friends. So I grew up in Vista for a long time. Like when we moved there, so I knew Oceanside Vista, and Vista is a whole nother place too. So, but it's safer for my mom to live there now. It's not like now you see strollers. You don't see shopping carts with crackheads like walking down the street. You just see strollers and families.
They're the high-end bougie strollers.
I was like, damn, dude, I used to just be like, I'm like, you know where the street you're walking down? Like,
so funny.
So it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, that's cool. I think it's good, because I'm not in a place where I want to even associate with that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like grimy areas and stuff, I know all that stuff is just, it's kind of like Section 8 housing and all that type of stuff. It's like, it only stays that way for, you know, because people get comfortable. So it's a slap in the face for people like my mom, where she worked her ass off to get out of the ghetto. And then it's a slap in the face for people like her if you associate her like that, because it's like she made it off of Section 8 and welfare and all that when I was growing up, but got out of it. You know what I mean? There's people that use the system and will keep on going. You know what I mean? So I don't like handouts. Like, I know how hard work pays off, and I'm not gonna look at this guy with a sick Range Rover pull up and be like, oh fuck this guy. This guy's like that's me being insecure. You know what I mean? Like, why can't I get that? You know, if I have that mindset, I'm gonna stay down. So that's basically Leucadia to me, because I want to be up to par with all you guys. It's all good. You're gonna see me and you're gonna be like, whoa, this guy's on, like, you know, like on my level. So it's not even that I want to be rich. I'm saying it's you damn near have to be rich to live here, though. So it's like you gotta just grind, and I would be happy. I would be happy just living a good life, not worrying about money, and just at least raising the fam.
Well, you're definitely on your way to that. Yeah. Because you're doing a great job. Know? So what would you tell viewers or clients, anybody who'd, I mean, what What do you want for them? You've created this space. For what purpose? What would you say is your mission, your motto, your statement that you
like,
want for other people? Statement.
I want them to know I keep it real, and I don't really like. I'm not fake, so it's like I take care of people, and I enjoy doing it. So I think part of it is building that local community where a new dude's gonna see me talking to June like I know him for like I do, which is real, and it's like cool that he could see us cutting it up, and then he walks in and it's not just quiet, and like he's like, oh, like they got like weird pictures up here. I'm from Utah, just visiting. Like this is like I want him to get a taste of Cali when they come here, because like most people aren't from here, so it's kind of tight. Like if I give that California vibe that they always were seeing on music videos or MTV and stuff, and I actually like embody it. So that's what I take pride in, because it's like all I learned or grew up with, and surfing, skating, all that, whatever your tattoo art, lowriders, like that stuff to me it's deep. It's like it's I was raised in it, so it's like I don't just paint a picture because it's marketable, and like I think it's a cool fad, which a lot of people, And it's funny because like that's happening now with companies where I'm like, damn, lowriders are sick now, like, or this is sick, and it's just like I've always like stood for that anyway, and I know I'm like I said, I know my backbone. I don't have anything to be insecure about. They're gonna fall off of it after they want to live, pretend or poser it, but if that's how they gotta eat, it's see-through. A lot of places they hang up surfboards around here. No one's ever been out on the beach. You know? So it's like, if you're that, hang it up. If you're a golfer, hang it up. Like, be about your like what you like, or and that's just barbershop. Like, I'm lucky enough to like decorate it how I like in here. But like, if you have a cool like restaurant and you want to make it like soccer themed, or you did get all these old vintage soccer guys on the wall and like cool memorabilia, you sought after all that stuff, and you have the passion to like find nooks and little things that like, the guys that know about it, they're gonna be like, where did you get that? Like, damn, bro, like, and you're gonna be like, if you're a collector,
quick.
So that's part of like I think passion. If you see people with cool shit and like that, not everybody can get, and you didn't go and wayfare it and like stick to the script. Keep it like.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing
that's mainly
with you, is that, I mean, like you said, you keep
obviously
it real.
You have inspiration off people too, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not like you're trying to be. You can tell that you're genuine, that you're trying to be real, and you're not trying to be something that you're not. So I think that resonates with people, and that's why they keep coming back.
But like, I like that I'm able to like, kind of like say if they think some things are in here are crude, or I look kind of off the wall. I've been able to. The best days are when I get someone that's real square and like uptight, and I get him joking and he's laughing with me by the end of the thing, and he's all stoked he came in. It's like, at first he judged me, but then he didn't know my mouthpiece and how I have the gift of gab. I don't care. Like I'll talk to anybody. So it's like, if you kind of got that vibe off of me, you did it. I didn't do it. You just did it.
So I think sometimes we have this idea and maybe mainstream it. I don't know. I think the unique thing about you is like you said, you're bringing you and you're bringing real, and it allows other people to feel safe to be that same way. And open themselves up, and hopefully more businesses will replicate their personality, and just do
exactly. Just like, whether if, like I tell you have such a cool platform for you, because you know the baseball game in and out, like, and then there's the jiu-jitsu game in and out, so you get all these ambassadors from different walks of life pretty much, and you bring them together. Then it's like, if they're there for a reason, they're all open ears because they want to hear. It's not just like how the baseball story works or the skate story works, or it's all the same. So it's like, it's all the same shit but different language.
It's such a connection. So it's like,
But yeah, like I feel like when I meet people like you guys have had past careers or different things, like whatever, it's cool because then you learn off whatever worked and didn't work and what they're into now.
Yeah.
So it's
Then,
like
then you realize that it all just comes down to these like same few principles about like putting in the reps and being yourself and all these things that transcend it. And one thing that I want to go back to is like I feel like so often today we want to make people or jobs or cities like one thing. It's like this is the label. You're a barber. This is a barber shop.
Yeah.
You know, like period, end of story. And what I think is so inspirational about what you created here and what you're doing in your personal life and who you are as a person is there are no limits. There are no boundaries. It isn't just you're a barber. This is a barber shop. Period, end of story. Like when you talk about tattoo art, when you talk about skating, when you talk about creating art shows here and having pop-up parties and having the lowriders on the street, it gets me excited, even though those aren't my things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's sweet
cool.
to be able to have that vision and to be able to expand beyond sort of like what the script or the label says about who you are or what your job is or what it should be or what it can be. And being able to expand that is just like super inspirational because I'm sitting here going, oh man, like what am I going to be up to in my career, in my family, in my life, where I can, you know, where am I sort of limiting myself, you know, and to be able to step into that while you're cutting hair is like, man.
I know. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
You're the one who actually said, you said that to me one time though, is just bring Susan to every whatever job you want to do. It's
That's
Susan who's the person, and what you've mastered is bringing you
to everything you do.
Everything you do. And if everybody could be authentic, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
It's that you're you.
The world wants to tell you who you are, but in reality, what Emiliano's doing is he's bringing his identity to the vocation rather than the other way around.
Yes.
I know it's like different. Every industry is different too. So it's like that part. It's like it's hard for some people. Yeah. Because you know whatever. Like you gotta still impress the people that like are on top. You know of any industry, but it's kind of like I think if you you give them a walk of your life, they get to know you better, and just like know what your interests are and stuff, and it sparks conversation too. Just being like open about what you used to do or whatever you're into, you know.
It's a magnet. It drives people to you, I think, because they feel, if you're real, I think they can feel safe with whatever they're going to express, especially in a barber chair. You know,
sure.
You're being authentic. It allows other people to be authentic too. So.
Yeah, you got to be transparent in a way. Some people, you know, they come in and just get their hair cut and like say a couple
Fall
words.
asleep like June.
So
this is relaxing.
That's cool too.
I've never seen
Hey,
it
can we go
like
somewhere?
So relaxed.
Can we go somewhere where I can get a massage while we do the podcast?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
up
that'd be
next
perfect.
on that.
He's in the zone.
I'm telling you, that buzz is relaxing.
That's good. Well, it's been awesome to get to know you more and to hear your story, and I think it's such an inspirational story. Again, I'm blown away. I don't know how I missed that you're as young as you are, but
February
really
21st.
impressive.
I'll show you my ID.
Okay. It's really
I'm out of
impressive
the 20s now.
and inspirational for young.
It is
for everybody who's
well,
young.
think about for his
and
kids.
us
His
oldies.
kids are gonna see. I mean, they see the inspiration that he's leading
That-
by example.
That's the other thing when you have young kids and it's double-edged sword. So it's like there's always like, well, I know I gotta grind hard right now, but there's a balance too of like trying to be a dad too. So it's like sometimes you spread yourself thin and you're doing super sick and work and getting all these like things done or whatever, however it is for me. Like when I'm at my peak week of like, I'm just work mode and I'm like, you know, networking and just social, doing all the videos and like, you know, I got my shit on point. That's when I'm away from my kids a lot too.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all this
It's a hard
stuff
balance.
and I'm like, so I'm grinding for them, but then I'm grinding for me. So your ego gets in the way too. Cause you're like, you feel pumped up cause you're doing all this shit right now, but at the same time, you're not putting, where does it really count? You know what I mean? So that's where I find myself just ditching my phone for like a whole weekend. I don't even look at it. and I feel bad because and even when I get home every night, boom, put it away. Like I have to. So it's like,
what a guy.
No, but like if I don't,
Wow.
I only got 2 hours with them. It's like a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so it's like two days a week
Yeah.
at the most. You're over there, you know, doing all your other shit. It's like it's hard if you don't put, you know, and then you get detached too, because then it's easy to get detached.
That
'cause
takes
the
a
same exact way, man, and yeah, I think there's a real tension.
There's a
there.
balance.
Yeah, so
'cause you're like, you know what? To be honest, then you go on that like Montana mindset tip. We're like, fuck this place. I'm gonna go
yeah,
somewhere where I
know.
could just like
we all love to
could
run.
fucking chop wood and
unplug and
Right.
detach
Find
and
water
get out of
and-
here. Yes.
yeah.
I did that with my
that's
kids.
sick.
I was like, no, we're living on land. We're
That's
gonna
cool.
go learn.
how you
We're
do
gonna learn
it.
some new things. But it's a happy balance, and it takes a lot of years to learn that. So again, kudos to you for balancing work and family, and everybody wants to support that. You know, I think again in a tight knit
That's also-
community,
yeah,
we like
like-
to support
It's dope that like
family.
I think like a lot of customers with kids or had kids or whatever, I think they see the stage in my life, and I know that it's, you know, big ups to them because they support. I think also because they could go anywhere they don't care. Some of them don't care about their hair. They just want to come and kick it
Support you.
and hang out and be a part of this place. So that's cool. That's more meaningful than just making money, you know, because, you know, it's like you're putting in to get, you helped me pay my rent. He's been coming in. I was going to say, that's like mad car payments, dude. So that's the type of shit where it's like everyone brings their piece to the table.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it all. And that's what's dope about it. Because, you know, I don't take all that for granted. Because it could come and go too, you know. There's things where it's like a recession or a COVID or like people can't be
We've
spending
all
as much.
experienced it.
Yeah.
So I've already been through some of it, but, you know, hopefully nothing gets weirder like it's looking. But
Sure.
Well, and
I
that's
don't want
the
to get into
purpose.
politics and all that. But
That's the purpose of, you know, this podcast as a whole is to illuminate those people that have been building this community and bring awareness to what they're doing and the flavor they bring to the community, to spotlight that a bit. And yeah, thanks for letting us just hound you, spotlight you, because I think you're
appreciate
very
it.
well worth
Thank you,
coming in
guys.
and having this whole experience.
And June is looking.
And look at this
Right.
guy.
Birthday.
Happy
Do I look 20 years
birthday
younger?
to
Yes.
June.
Hey,
Okay.
it's your birthday today?
It was
Wednesday.
actually on Wednesday.
Oh,
Oh, happy late birthday, man.
Yeah.
Heck
But he
yeah.
celebrates all. You know, he says it's not about me. It's not about my birthday. But man,
Do birthday month.
This
We've
guy's
been doing
this
birthday.
guy's got it down though. That's inspiration. So it's like I got, like you guys were saying about the age and all that. I look at June inspiration because it's like he wakes up, does jujitsu. Those are like if you keep yourself sane, do your stuff, and then work every day, and that's like your passion. That's a solid dude because he's like he knows like all the other shit's like he's done it. It's like at this point you've already done it all. What's the stuff that keeps you on track is like gym or just doing things like mentally. Like if I don't, now I'm at the point where if I don't go to the gym in the morning, I feel like, oh dude, like all
Yeah.
sluggish
Yeah.
in the morning here, you know? So
Yeah.
if I go and do all those things to make me have the outlet to talk to people and like not feel all like scatterbrained and everything, that's what helps me throughout.
Yeah. We
you
talked
know?
about that today at the group. It was the concept of doing what makes you happy to ground you, to keep you at your best in everything else that you're going to do. You know, if you don't carve out that window of time
Right.
to
starts with
recenter
that.
who you are, you lose who you are, and then look at your business is
Yep.
not who you are, and so forth. So,
Well, those people start dwelling on things that don't matter, they can't fix, and
yeah,
it's like,
I'm kind of wanting all these tools, like
no, they're the,
you
the
keep
real
bringing out
deal.
some
Wait
good
till he
things.
breaks out the straight razor.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
Stuff we don't even know about.
Yeah, I told him a story back. I don't know, when I lived in Scottsdale. I had this barber. She tried to use a straight razor, and I didn't realize
no.
she ran, and I didn't know what it was, and I felt something dripping, and my head was cut up. It was just all over. Yeah, I was bleeding.
No. Have
Yeah.
you had a bad experience like that when you were first learning? I mean, how do
No,
you
luckily.
learn with that? Look at that thing.
Yeah,
That's
that
pretty
is
sharp.
It's very sharp.
Oh my.
Don't make me cut June now.
Yeah, don't bring that up now.
We'll edit that part.
I'm all nervous.
So now this is all making sense why June has felt such like a home here, because he's been cut up, he's had cuts.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
I know,
Trauma.
trauma.
Now he's finally like,
Yeah.
We're going through trauma. We're going to June therapy right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Is
dude.
working through all
That's
his.
why-
hair
Careful with
trauma.
those military barbers.
Yeah.
So
The
funny.
Vietnamese ladies in Mira Mesa, dude, they have shops over there that like it's all like, or Filipino ran or anything, but these are chops like quick.
They just
Some
go
of the
quick.
aunties get it down,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they know how to do it. But
That's why I'm rooting for Emiliano to
Just
continue to
crank him
grow,
out.
but he's got to cut my hair until I'm like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is only a couple years.
Yeah.
So you're good.
man, that's crazy. You've been telling everybody you're 70.
I
man.
know.
I am
hilarious.
seven. It's on
no,
air. I'm
I
I
was
got
70.
one
saying-
of the guys from the jiu-jitsu
No.
school. We're all signing
They're all what?
He's like, how old is he turning? I was like, dude, 70. He's like, wow, he looks great. He looks great. Yeah. He's like,
Gullible.
He does not look it. I'm like, huh?
Well, he said 58 for so long.
He's a Benjamin Button.
That's right.
Benjamin
exactly.
Button.
Right, man. I think
All
we're
right.
solid, bro.
Good.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
Emiliano,
Oh,
thanks again.
of course.
Anyone that needs a cut, come to Leucadia Barbershop in Leucadia. Great place, great conversations, good people.
That's right. This was The Heart of the Matter, brought to you by the group and the Coast News. We're here to support people locally in the community, what they're up to in their businesses. So if you feel like you would like to be featured or you have somebody in mind, we're always open hearts, open mind. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.